For those who've lived through the magical era of 1977, you know there was more to music than just disco and punk rock. Today, we're diving deep into the forgotten gems of 77, songs that deserve their moment in the spotlight again. I'm betting some of these will bring back memories you haven't thought about in decades. If you're ready to rediscover some hidden musical history, stay with me. Ronnie McDowell burst onto the music scene in 1977 with The King Is Gone, a heartfelt tribute to Elvis Presley that he wrote and recorded within 2 days of Elvis's death. What many don't know is that McDowell never intended to have a career in country music. He was actually serving in the Navy when he started performing, and his remarkable vocal similarity to Elvis was initially more of a burden than a blessing, with many critics dismissing him as just another Elvis impersonator.
Now the king is gone, and oh, what a...
The success of The King Is Gone was both a blessing and a curse for McDowell. While it shot to number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100 and sold 5 million copies, record executives tried to pigeonhole him into being nothing more than an Elvis tribute artist. McDowell fought hard against this image, demonstrating his own unique style through his subsequent releases, though it took years for the industry to see him as his own artist. Here's something fascinating. McDowell later provided Elvis's singing voice in several movies, including Elvis, the movie, with Kurt Russell. He was so spot on that Elvis's own stepbrother couldn't tell the difference. Moving to Stallion, their hit, Old Fashioned Boy, You're the One, is a prime example of how record company politics can make or break a band. Formed in Los Angeles in 1975, Stallion was actually created by music industry veterans who were frustrated with the disco movement. Their goal was to bring back traditional rock and roll, but their record label had other ideas.
I'm an old-fashioned boy, 'cause I believe in love.
The band's sound was deliberately crafted to bridge the gap between hard rock and radio-friendly pop, but internal conflicts with their management led to their eventual downfall. Their producer wanted them to lean more into the disco sound that was dominating the charts, while the band members wanted to maintain their rock edge. The tension is actually audible in Old Fashioned Boy, where you can hear both influences fighting for dominance. The real kicker? The master tapes for their unreleased second album mysteriously disappeared during a studio move in 1978. Rumor has it that the album contained some of their best work, including collaborations with members of Toto, but it'll never see the light of day. Paul Nicholas's Heaven on the Seventh Floor might seem like a typical 70s pop song, but there's more to this British singer than meets the eye. Before his music career, Nicholas was already a successful actor in London's West End and had starred in the original production of Hair. The song was actually written as a joke during a recording session break.
Heaven on the seventh floor. Heaven on the seventh.
What most people don't realize is that Nicholas was actively performing in Andrew Lloyd Webber's Jesus Christ Superstar while promoting this hit. The song's success in America actually caused some tension with the show's producers, as he had to keep flying back and forth between London and the US for performances and promotional appearances. In a strange twist of fate, the elevator that inspired the song was later preserved and is now part of a music memorabilia collection in Nashville. Nicholas himself didn't know about this until 2010. Friends, I know these songs are bringing back memories for you. Share your stories in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more trips down memory lane. Now, let's keep the music playing. High Energy's You Can't Turn Me Off represents the last gasp of Motown's golden age. This female quartet was personally selected by Berry Gordy to carry the torch for the next generation of Motown groups, following in the footsteps of the Supremes. The group faced significant challenges within the industry, including racial discrimination and the music industry's shift away from the traditional Motown sound. They were often pressured to adapt their style to compete with disco groups, leading to tension with their producers.
You can't turn me off.
The song itself was actually written for Diana Ross, who passed on it due to its controversial lyrics about female sexuality. Here's a surprising detail. The distinctive bass line in You Can't Turn Me Off was played by James Jamerson Jr., the son of legendary Motown bassist James Jamerson. The story behind Meco's Star Wars themed Cantina Band is a testament to the power of creative interpretation. Meco Minardo, a former trombone player and disco producer, saw Star Wars on its opening day and went back to see it several more times, convinced that the theme could be transformed into a disco hit. The recording process was incredibly complex, involving a 75-piece orchestra and taking over a month to complete. The result was a massive hit that outsold the original soundtrack in several markets. However, this success led to a rift between Meco and John Williams, the original composer. The production costs for this single were among the highest ever for a disco record at that time, totaling over $100,000 in 1977 dollars, equivalent to nearly $500,000 today. If these forgotten hits are bringing back memories, don't keep them to yourself. Share this video with your friends who lived through these amazing times. Hit subscribe and ring that bell to join our community of music lovers who remember when music told real stories. Let's continue our journey through 1977. Randy Newman's Short People caused one of the biggest controversies in 1977's music scene. The song, intended as a satire about prejudice, was actually banned by several radio stations and even led to proposed legislation in Maryland attempting to make it illegal to play the song on the radio. Newman, known for his satirical songwriting, found himself having to defend the song's message repeatedly in interviews.
Short people got no reason.
The backlash was so severe that Newman received death threats, and several concerts were canceled due to protest. However, the controversy helped push the song to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it Newman's biggest hit. The irony wasn't lost on Newman, who had spent years writing sophisticated, critically acclaimed albums that never achieved mainstream success. A lesser-known fact, Paul McCartney was in the studio during the recording session and contributed uncredited backing vocals to the chorus. He found the song so amusing that he offered to help out, but asked to remain uncredited to avoid overshadowing the song's message. Santa Esmeralda's version of Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood transformed a soulful Nina Simone classic into a disco flamenco fusion that captivated audiences worldwide. The group, led by Leroy Gomez, was actually a studio project created by French producers, capitalizing on the growing popularity of Latin-influenced disco. What many don't know is that the original recording session was nearly canceled due to a dispute over the arrangement.
Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood.
The epic 16-minute album version of the song was initially rejected by the record label, who demanded a shorter cut for radio play. However, club DJs started playing the full version, creating such demand that the label was forced to reconsider their position. The song's unique blend of flamenco guitars, disco beats, and rock energy created a new template for cross-cultural fusion in popular music. In an interesting twist, the iconic guitar work on the track was performed by a classical flamenco guitarist who had never played disco music before and reportedly hated the genre. He was only convinced to participate after being allowed to improvise his own sections. Odyssey's Native New Yorker began as a tribute to the resilient spirit of New York City during the financial crisis of the 1970s, but evolved into something so much more complex. The group, originally formed as a Connecticut-based trio called the Lopez Sisters, underwent several transformations before finding their sound. Their journey to success was marked by tragedy when one of the original members passed away just as they were gaining recognition.
You're a native New Yorker.
The song's sophisticated arrangement, combining disco rhythms with jazz harmonies, set it apart from typical disco fare of the era. However, this complexity caused problems during live performances, as many venues lacked the technical capabilities to reproduce the song's intricate sound layers. The group often had to perform a simplified version, leading to disappointment among fans who expected to hear the record's full arrangement. Few people realize that the iconic saxophone solo was actually recorded in one take by a session musician who was fighting the flu at the time. He later claimed he doesn't remember recording it at all due to his fever. Samantha Sang's Emotion represents a fascinating intersection of pop music history. While many associate the song with the Bee Gees, who wrote and produced it, Sang's connection to the group dates back to her childhood in Australia, where she performed with Barry Gibb in Melbourne's music scene. The Bee Gees actually owed her a favor after she had helped them during their early struggling days in Australia.
It's just emotion that's taking me over.
The recording sessions were notoriously tense, with Barry Gibb insisting on numerous retakes to achieve the perfect vocal blend. Sang later revealed that she was suffering from severe bronchitis during the recording, which ironically gave her voice the distinctive quality that made the song so memorable. The strain of the sessions was so severe that she temporarily lost her voice afterward. Here's something most people don't know. The song was originally written for Diana Ross, but Barry Gibb decided to give it to Sang after remembering a promise he made to her years earlier in Australia. LeBlanc and Carr's Falling marked one of the most promising debuts of 1977, but also one of music's most tragic what-if stories. Lenny LeBlanc and Pete Carr were session musicians at the famous Muscle Shoals Sound Studio, playing on hits for artists like Paul Simon and Rod Stewart before deciding to step into the spotlight themselves. Their harmonies drew comparisons to the Everly Brothers, and their future seemed bright.
With her, and the snow was falling down.
The duo's chemistry was undeniable, but their timing was unfortunate. Just as they were gaining momentum, the disco movement was reaching its peak, and their sophisticated soft rock style was becoming less commercially viable. Despite this, Falling managed to reach number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100, showcasing their impeccable musicianship and haunting harmonies. The tragic part? A serious car accident shortly after the song's success left Pete Carr unable to tour, effectively ending what could have been one of the great musical partnerships of the era. The accident occurred while they were traveling to a television appearance that might have launched them to stardom. And there you have it, friends. 10 incredible songs from 1977 that deserve to be remembered. If you enjoyed this journey through time, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into music history. Share your memories in the comments below, and don't forget to like and share this video with other music lovers who appreciate the songs that help shape our lives. Until next time, keep those memories alive and the music playing.